Pace already for storms developing in the tropics, and things are actually really starting to ramp up right now. Look at what we have on our globe. So we've got, a lineup of tropical waves out here. We've got two in particular that we're looking at here, starting a really active period in the tropics. And we've got two particular that we need to keep an eye on for potential development in the coming week to 2 weeks. So look where we are in the season. I mean, we're now into that peak of the hurricane season where this is when we typically do see a lot of the activity. It's been busy early, yes, but now we're getting into the zone where we expect it to be busy. Looking at where we typically see development this time of year, it's right here across that main development region, but it's also in the Caribbean, it's also into the Gulf of Mexico, it's also into the Atlantic as well. So really any area at this point in the season here is fair play. Now we've got two areas to watch. The new 8 o'clock update from the Hurricane Center came in. They both still have the same chances of development. 50% on this first tropical wave, which happens to be Invest 97L, this one closer to the islands. We also have this other area that has just recently come off the coast of Africa yesterday. This has a 60% chance of developing. So let's look at both of these specifically. The one closer in we'll do first. This one will have some island impact. It has a 50% chance here of developing. Now in the short term, maybe not. It's moving pretty fast. So the next day or two, we'll see what happens. But beyond that, it's got the more decent chance of developing into a zone with very warm sea surface temperatures, into a zone with low wind shear. So we are watching and anticipating development, at least in some form, coming out of that once it crosses over the island and gets over here into the Caribbean. Let's go back to this other one here that came off the coast of Africa. This one certainly has potential as well, a 60% chance. It's also in an environment that is going to allow it to develop here and potentially strengthen within the next 5 days. Takes it right out over the main development region. We'll see where it tracks with reference to the islands. Now, both of these spins we can follow on the models. And at this point, what you're looking at here is just spin in the atmosphere. So we're not saying it's a tropical storm or a hurricane, but it shows us where we need to be focused on in terms of where will they track. Big, strong ridge of high pressure to the north. That's going to mean these travel from west to east. The first one, simply because it is the first one up, watch how based on the European model, this comes up, potentially gets closer up into the Gulf of Mexico. Doesn't have a lot of signs of really distinct rotation. The one behind it has a little bit more. But when you look at the GFS, has a bit more potential of, apparent spin in the atmosphere, if you will, with both of these. So this is something to watch here throughout the islands, throughout the Gulf of Mexico, from Florida all the way to Texas. You certainly need to be ready for this tropical season. Steph.
All right.